So I spent 100 days in Stardew Valley, but I never played this game before. This game is about farming and growing rich. At least I think so. I honestly don't know what to expect here. Only rules that I set for myself are that I can't watch guides or ask for help, but I can read Wikipedia for some hints if I feel stuck. So without further ado, let's begin this video. So let's start with day 1. I begin this journey with 500 gold and 15 parsnip seeds. I think my first task is pretty clear, and that's planting these seeds. But everything seems to be overgrown around my farm. So I started clearing land around it, and after some time passed I planted and watered my first crops. Shortly after I found some cave next to my base. But I felt like it's a bit too dangerous to do that right now, so I quickly left the cave. There was a big lake south of my farm, so I figured that's the place where I can refill watering can. Game gave me a quest to head out to town and to meet all the NPCs, so without too much thinking that's exactly what I did. I found some important things such as notice boards and shopkeepers. I tried to buy something from the local market, but basically it looks like I was too late for that. I won't lie to you, I watched some Stardew Valley videos in the past, so I did know that once it gets dark you have to sleep. And that basically brings me to day 2. First thing you gotta do in this game is well to water your crops. Also it looks like I got a mail from NPC called Willy. Basically he came back from fishing trip and he had something to give me at 5 PM. But there is a small problem, my inventory is already full. It looks like I need to make a chest. Thank God that this game, unlike Terraria, has decent amount of space in chests. Today I actually made it on time to buy some seeds from shopkeeper, and I'm basically broke right now. Farm became richer with few beans and potatoes. There was still some time until 5 PM, so I explored the world a little bit more, and I basically found a blacksmith that is selling ores. This could be useful one day. Anyways, back to Willy. He gave me his old fishing rod. Not gonna lie, fishing seems pretty chill and fun. Is that what I did for the rest of the day? Absolutely. Day 3 began and it rained. That means that I don't have to water plants today. There is a box next to farm where I can sell items. But the catch is that money arrives only the next day. There was a daily quest where I had to give a green algae to NPC called Penny. This means that more fishing had to be done today. Do you know what was the hardest thing about this quest? Finding Penny. Eventually I found her in front of an old RV. And now I proudly present to you the first money that I earned. 45 gold. I was very low on energy and I wanted to find out what happens if I spent all of it. But then I got a message saying that I feel exhausted, so I stopped. Day 4 started and it looks like my foraging and fishing skill increased by 1 level. And to make things even better I earned some money from selling fish. Pierre opens his shop at 9 AM, which gives me time to do some more fishing. Shortly after I bought more seeds. There is no screwing around here. This is capitalism, farm needs to expand on daily basis. I couldn't help myself, I was just too curious. What actually happens when you spend all energy? Well, only one way to find out. And it looks like you just pass out. Not a big deal. Never mind, it's worse than that. You start the next day with half of energy bar only. And you lose some of your money, but jokes on them, I'm broke. There are some good news. First crops grew, so it's time to pick them up and sell them for profits. There was some kind of a cutscene about old ruined community center and how it needs to be restored. But there were some mean looking pixels inside of it. Looks like another big quest in this game. But wait, that's not all. New quest came where I need to talk to NPC called Robin so she could build me a chicken coop. Yeah, this game is basically mocking me. I'm barely struggling to pay rent here and they are offering me a chicken coop for 4000 coins and shit ton of materials. It's like telling a homeless person that there is a new Bugatti for sale. Like, chill out please. Anyways, I got back to community center to explore it a little bit. And there was some kind of a note with some weird ancient letters. More on that a bit later. I once again expanded farm and that's it honestly for day 5. Farming skill went up by 1 level and I earned 500 gold from all the parsnip I sold. Maybe chicken coop isn't that expensive after all. Oh, and Wizard sent me a mail. He had something important to tell me about community center, but I'll deal with that a bit later. I was broke once again. I spent all 500 gold on parsnip seeds. Farm was getting really big at this point, and I was kinda proud of that. My energy bar was still full at this point, so I spent the rest of the day clearing wilderness around me. I'm slowly getting hooked on this game. Once again another 500 gold were in my pocket. Anyways, back to important stuff. I found this purple pig. And then I went to Wizard's Tower. After speaking to him for a while, he forced me to drink a random potion. What could possibly go wrong from drinking a concoction of a random person you just met that claims to be a wizard? After hallucinating for some time, I learned a new power that lets me read that ancient language found in community center. Also today was Louis' birthday, so I gave him a gift. I'm still not sure what's the point of it, but I guess I will find out in future. As I was exploring what's north of my farm, I found a mountain with cave. There was some guy inside that gave me a sword. Of course I went deeper in mines and there were some bugs and slimes to fight. I won't lie to you, they were pretty easy to deal with. But my inventory was full, so I went back to farm. Day 8 started and my mining skill increased by 1 level. Yesterday I found some geodes which can be opened by blacksmith. It's basically gamblings in hopes of getting better minerals. And I actually did get some. And well, I donated them to museum and in return sometimes I'll get some rewards. For example, this time it was 250 gold. Not bad. There was a daily quest involving Parsnip and Abigail. And as a reward I got some kind of a prize ticket. Great, even more gambling in this game. But let's talk about community center again. I went to check out what can I do with my new power there. And to put it in simple terms, I have to offer set gifts in shape of a bundle for future rewards. I'm genuinely interested about it now. Shortly after, Mayor told me that sometimes when you help others, you are rewarded with prize tickets, which I can turn into some rewards. This time I was awarded with 12 carrot seeds. Of course they were planted straight away. There was still a bunch of time left today. And back to mines I was. This time I found some copper ores inside of a cave. That's pretty cool. My energy was getting low, so I headed back home. Selling potatoes turned out to be a good business idea. Only few of them sold for around 500 gold. Today blacksmith visited me and he gave me a blueprint for furnace. You need 20 copper ores to craft one, and I don't have that kind of luxury right now. Stardew Valley is apparently a game about farming. Then why the hell am I spending most of time in mines right now? I pushed even deeper this time. I found lots of copper and an elevator. Basically every 5 levels I get an access to an elevator. That way I don't have to start from level 1 every time I enter mines. I got back home and smelting ores is kinda slow. So I was chopping trees in the meantime. And as it was getting dark, I figured I can use tree sap to make fertilizer for better quality crops. It's day 10 already. Time is passing by so fast when you're having fun. Today I adopted a stray dog called Subscribe. I know, very original. But apparently it helps with people subscribing to you. Jokes aside, a nice surprise welcomed me outside. A bunch of crops grew up. Other than that I went to blacksmith. And it turns out that I need 5 copper ingots and 2k gold to upgrade each tool. That is kinda expensive for me right now. My original plan was to fish today. But since I got 2 quests that are revolved around me slaying slimes, yeah, I was back to mines again doing that. Sorry guys. I earned almost 1k from all the crops I sold the day earlier, so that's pretty good. And I finally had 2k, which is enough to buy a chicken coop. Yeah, except that I actually didn't have enough money. For some reason I thought I only need 2k for that, but it turns out it's 4k. Well, screw that, I spent that money on upgrading backpack, which basically doubles my inventory size. And the rest of the money was spent on kale seeds, because let's be honest, I won't be gathering 4k anytime soon. Afterwards I planted kale seeds and I went to mines with bigger backpack. It feels so much nicer to mine without worrying too much about space issues. I killed some kind of a monster that gave me a ring, and that ring basically emits light around me. Shortly after I reached level 10 in mines, and there was some kind of a treasure chest that unlocked me leather boots. It gives some kind of protection and resistance, so that's cool. There is not much to say about day 12. I spent half of day looking for Dandelion and NPC called Emily, so I could complete a quest for some gold. Afterwards I spoke to guild owners since I slayed 10 slimes in caves. There were still few hours left in a day, so I went back to mines, and to keep it short and simple I got a dwarf scroll. That's an artifact that I have to bring to museum. But I will check it out later because tomorrow there is a egg festival in town. So yeah, as I said, today is egg festival in town. This is basically first event in game. There was some kind of a shop where I bought a bunch of strawberry seeds. I figured this is probably only time I could actually buy those. Afterwards there was a egg hunt event. And Mayor Lewis said that the person that collects the most eggs gets a special prize. And sadly that wasn't me. It was Abigail. Shortly after the event ended and it was already bedtime. Day 14 was pretty boring day. I completed a quest for Mayor Lewis. And as a reward I got a peach tree sapling. It takes 28 days for one to grow. That's a very long time. Afterwards I donated few more things to museum. And I was rewarded with cauliflower seeds. After planting all of that, I was kinda lost for a moment. And then, yeah, you won't believe it, I went back to mines again. But hey, this time I tested out bombs, and they're pretty cool. I reached level 15 in mines and I went back to bed. On day 15 I got an airplane cutscene, with text in middle saying, mystery boxes can be found now. That's very interesting. I finally found the dandelion today. This was the last plant I needed to complete a bundle quest in community center. I was so curious about which reward I'm going to get. And it was 30 spring seeds, that seems a lot. Other than that, I unlocked 2 more rooms in community center. They were basically farming and fishing bundle quests. Of course I planted new seeds immediately, and I still had a decent amount of energy. So I cleared some more trees around my farm. On day 16 my mom sent me cookies in mail. Thanks mom, I guess. But it was pretty boring day. I was, you won't guess, mining again. Only thing that I can say is that these flies are starting to annoy me really hard. Anyways, to keep it simple, I reached level 20 and as a reward for that I got a new steel sword. It deals double the damage than my previous one. On day 17 I picked up a bunch of kale. Afterwards I was back to mines. I reached level 25 and that's it. I went to bed and farming skill was increased to level 3 and combat skill to level 2. I made almost 1500 gold from all the stuff I sold yesterday. I'm getting pretty rich here. Robin sent me a mail that if I upgrade my house, that I could start cooking better food. Today was also Pam's birthday. I quickly went to mines to kill 4 slimes for daily quest. Nothing crazy happened. Also, today I learned that Penny is Pam's daughter, and that they live together in RV. Oh, and Pam is alcoholic, by the way. She has empty bottles in front of her RV, and guess where I found her? In saloon drinking beer. Later I was cutting some trees, and I got a book called Woody's Secret, and that's the new power I learned. Basically it's a small chance for trees to drop double amount of wood. I mean it's better than nothing. Day 19. Yes. Mining. But hey, at least I got a very OP forest sword, which deals bunch of damage. I also reached level 35 in mines, and it looks like I entered a new area, with new monsters that look like zombies and bats. On day 20 I broke a lot of geodes. That gave me a lot of new ores that I can donate to museum for some rewards. I got some nice things such as seeds that I can plant in summer. I can't wait to do that. I went back to mines to complete some daily quests, but I wasn't lucky. On day 21 strawberries grew up, so I sold them straight away without thinking too much about it. I also had 2 fishing quests, so I spent whole day fishing. It's worth mentioning that I have no idea where to fish, which type of fish. So sadly I only managed to complete 1 quest, but that's fine because I did find some other things that seemed kinda rare to me. Hopefully by tomorrow I will have 4k gold, so I could start building a chicken coop. Today I had lots of plants to collect, and I think I'm going to earn some good money now. Afterwards I went to Robin straight away, so she could start building me a coop. There wasn't really much to do after that, so I reached level 40 in mines. I got slingshot as a reward for my troubles, but I wasn't really sure how to equip stone as ammunition, so in the end I never really even used it. I earned almost 2000 today. It's good time to buy shit ton of seeds and to plant them before spring ends. It was pretty short day. I spent majority of day planting and watering parsnip seeds. This should be good enough to boost my money for when summer arrives. Today is flower dance event. Something similar to prom night in real life. It was pretty brutal and harsh day. Main objective today was to ask single ladies to dance with me. And well, nobody wanted to dance with me. I swear this game is just like real life sometimes. Shortly after dance ended and it was time for bed. Day 25 was nothing special. I figured that I should start upgrading social status with other NPCs. Because I felt like I'm missing out on some rewards or something, I don't know. First NPC that I had in my mind was Penny. I kinda felt bad for her since she lives in RV with her alcoholic mother. But I think my gifts just ended up making things much worse. Because she didn't really like the stuff I kept gifting her. Besides having negative rees with NPCs, I was mostly just cutting trees around my base. Today is somewhat special day because the coop has been completed. I bought 2 chickens and some hay to feed them. Then I read on Stardew Valley Wikipedia that I should make a silo. That way I can start producing my own hay when I'm cutting tall grass with scythe. Scythe? I don't know how to pronounce that, sorry. Afterwards I gifted a flower to Abigail. I gotta expand my horizons if you know what I mean. Also I read on Wikipedia by accident that I should make a mayonnaise dispenser, because mayonnaise sells for much more gold than raw eggs themselves. On day 27 I bought 2 more chickens, which means that chicken coop is already maxed out. Later I went to caves because of a quest I had to complete. And I went so deep that I explored some new icy biome area. It looks like it's a decent source of iron ores. But I also learned that it's time to upgrade my pickaxe, because it takes so much energy and time to mine stuff here. On day 28 I reached level 5 farming skill, and that gave me a perk which increases plant value by 10%. Also I'm pretty sure that today is last day of spring. Silo is complete so I can fill it up with hay slowly over time. I should probably point out that chickens are still babies at this point, so I'm not getting any eggs. Also I started upgrading my pickaxe today. It supposedly takes around few days for it to be complete. At least that's what blacksmith said. Today is a very special day because it's first day of summer season. It's definitely farming time. First I'm going to plant all the summer seeds that I got earlier as quest rewards. What made start of this even sweeter was the fact that I got 500 extra gold from my mom and another 500 for being the most helpful neighbor in the spring season. So that's cool. Oh, I totally forgot to mention that chickens laid their first eggs and I turned them into mayonnaise. Other than that I spent all my money on melon seeds, which of course I planted later. On day 30 copper pickaxe was ready. I decided to test it out in mines and I reached level 45 pretty fast. Now it only takes 2 swings instead of 3 to break ores and rocks. I got myself a bunch of iron ores, so that was a pretty good trip. I completed another bundle quest for community center area and I was rewarded with 30 summer seeds. Needless to say I planted that shit immediately. Today is a fishing day and I want to complete another community center quest revolved around fishing. But it turns out that this is much harder than it looks, maybe some other time. I feel like I need better fishing gear for this. While I'm on the subject of fishing, I should point out that I made a new chest where I will store fishing gear only. At the end of the day I almost made 1k from selling mayonnaise and fish, so it's paying off nicely. On day 32 I decided to fish in the river again, because I want to complete one of community center quests so badly. I'm basically addicted to it at this point. That's when I found out that I could buy some ice cream at the river stand. And I thought to myself, this will be the last gift I will try to give to Penny. Let's see if she likes it. And she did. Looks like I'm back on Team Penny again. I'm sorry, Abigail. I sold a lot of fish and mayonnaise, which gave me enough money to buy fishing pole, which brings me to day 33. Some kind of storm started today, and I'm not really sure if that is a bad thing. But at least I don't have to water the plants. Also I made 4 more mayonnaise machines, because it takes so long to turn eggs into mayonnaise. Anyways, as I said earlier, I bought a new fishing pole and some bait. And wow, the change is very noticeable. The fish bite so much faster and I spend less energy on fishing. And of course I fished for the entire day. I earned 3000 gold from all the fish I sold. I guess I will do one more fishing day, because I learned some new fishing recipes such as deluxe bait. But I made a regular one in the end, since I didn't have enough moss for the better one. I had some kind of a social progression with Penny. I guess she really liked that ice cream in the end. Other than that I did some fishing and running around. In the end I made a recycling machine. That thing turns garbage caught from fishing into useful stuff. And while we are on subject of trash, I found out that if I fish in a small pond next to farm, that I keep getting trash only. So that was a good time to test out this new recycler. I made 2000 today, which isn't too bad considering I barely did anything productive yesterday. A random train passed by today, so I went to see what's up with that. And to be honest with you, I didn't even realize that I can go up there. But I didn't find anything around train. That's weird. Maybe I have to physically see the train next time, I don't know. Oh, and scientist dropped by today, and he basically said that he will make me a mushroom farm in that cave next to me. Yeah, remember that one that I was scared of on day 1. Other than that, I spent whole day looking for Penny and Abigail to give them gifts. On day 36 I finally saved up 5k gold, which means that I can upgrade pickaxe once again. It was pretty chill day. I was completing daily quests and giving gifts to Penny and Abigail. I spent the rest of the day fishing so I can upgrade my fishing skills. There is not much to say about day 37. I bought some new plants such as tomatoes and blueberries. Reason why I did this is because I wanted to complete summer bundle quest. And I was basically broke once again. On day 38 blacksmith was done with crafting iron pickaxe. While I was on my way there, I decided to open some geodes as well, because why not? I got some new mineral types and I decided to gift all of them to museum. Today was actually Maru's birthday, so of course I had to give her a gift. Afterwards I went to mines to test out new pickaxe. And I was finally able to mine big rock on the right side of the entrance. That gave me an access to some kind of a dwarf NPC. But it looks like I can't do anything with him right now. Anyways, I reached level 50 in mines and there was a treasure chest with better boots inside of it. Today is first summer event called Luau. Luau? I don't know. Like, what are these words, come on. It's basically a festival where villagers prepare a soup for governor. My task was to bring some kind of an ingredient for a soup. So I ended up placing a strawberry inside. Yeah, it's a bit weird. And thank god I actually did that because governor liked the soup. And that's it for today, there wasn't anything interesting to buy in shop, sadly. On day 40 I decided to slowly start upgrading my other tools. First I went with bronze axe, afterwards I went mining. There was some kind of a new creature that seems to be a ghost. It was pretty easy to deal with it. Ghost drops some kind of a sunlight essence, which is great, because I need one of those for a bundle in community center. On day 41 melons finally grew up. I won't be selling all of them, because you never know when you will need them in future. That's one of the main things I learned in Stardew Valley so far. Anyways, I completed one community center bundle, and the reward was pretty bad. I went to mines afterwards where I reached level 70. That's when I died for the first time in this game. I lost some items and gold in total value of almost 1000 gold. It's not too bad, I guess. But to be fair, this new sword I used was very bad. I blame that sword for my death. It definitely wasn't my skill issue. I earned 9000 coins from all the melons I sold yesterday. And I didn't even sell all of them, which is crazy. I also reached level 6 farming. So now I can craft a better water sprinkler. That means I can save so much time by not watering plants anymore. I can't wait to craft a bunch of those. I used that money to upgrade my backpack once again. And now I have access to all 3 columns of inventory. Oh yeah, and bronze axe was ready. Then a blacksmith got a new job to make me a bronze hoe. I was back to mines with my old sword. And let me tell you, this is much easier. I reached level 75 and that place basically looks like a dungeon to me. There are actually some kind of skeletons here, and they seem to be a little bit problematic right now. I want to explain to you my new morning routine, and that's giving gifts to Abigail, Penny and Maru whenever I can. That's only 2 times a week though. I went back to mines again because I got an awesome quest, where I have to slay 11 skeletons for 1100 gold. That's a lot of money. I reached level 80 in mines, and then I died in a new fiery biome. But at least I'm finally able to mine gold ores. It's definitely time for a new sword, and there is a skeleton sword for sale. But problem is I don't have that kind of money right now. On day 44 I reached level 5 mining skill. That gave me a perk to get extra ores whenever I mine metal ores. I just realized what kind of an idiot I am. There was no need to visit community center whenever I wanted to check which items I need for bundle quests. I could have just done that from my inventory screen. I wasted so much time on those trips, you have no idea. Anyways, I gave a new gift to Penny and now she has 4 hearts unlocked. I wonder what kind of benefit will this give me in future. I was back to mines to complete skeleton quest. I spent whole day fighting them, and then I had to travel to Wizard for my reward. Like, why is he so far away on other side of the map? On day 45 I finally checked out that mushroom farm in caves. It was filled with common mushrooms. I mean, it's better than zero mushrooms, am I right? Shortly after I went to caves, and of course I died. It's official, I can't go any lower than that. I need to get that bone sword as soon as possible. And that's it really for this day. There is some kind of a green rain today, and I'm not really sure what's that all about. First I thought it's some kind of dangerous event where I will have to fight monsters or something, I don't know. I got a new mail saying that most of townsfolk went to pub, so that's where I first headed to investigate. To be honest, I didn't get a single important clue about this. So I started running around and I quickly noticed something. There is a lot of bushes that drop moss if they are destroyed. As I was exploring further, I found some new fern type trees, and they're dropping small ferns when you destroy them. So I figured that's exactly what I have to do for rest of the day. On beginning of day 47 I was mostly running around greeting NPCs. Pam also gave me a new recipe, probably because we are becoming better friends. While I was running around the world I found a broken bridge. I'm going to guess that has something to do with community center bundle quests. Another important thing is that I have 6k gold, which means that I can buy myself that bone sword. Maybe it will help me a lot in mines, we will see. It has double the damage and attack speed than my previous weapon. Yeah, this sword is definitely an improvement, but I'm very stupid. I forgot to bring food with me, so I died. Mostly because I was careless. Next day will be better, I hope. Today tomatoes grew up. Soon I will have enough crops to complete summer crop bundle quest. Today is a trout fish derby, and before I went there I crafted a lot of deluxe bait, thanks to all the moss I found earlier in the green rain event. That should last me for a while. So yeah, fishing derby. Basically fish called rainbow trouts have a chance to spawn with a golden ticket, and I can turn in those golden tickets for rewards. My first reward was a tent, so that's cool. I spent whole day fishing and I got so many amazing rewards, such as coffee and sprinklers. On day 49 I reached new fishing level. I also almost earned 6k from previous day. Fishing is really starting to pay off. But the derby is still ongoing, so I gotta lock in today as well. I made lots of new fishing rod equipments, but I couldn't equip it. Turns out I need some kind of a better fishing rod for that. Oh well, anyways, back to fishing tournament. It was basically the same as yesterday, but with more quality sprinklers as a reward. And you know that I love them so much. I made another 7k gold today. It looks like I'm already halfway done with 100 days challenge. And I just realized that I can just hold left click whenever I pick stuff up. I don't have to manually click every single plant, that's life changing honestly. Shortly after I found Book of Mysteries, which slightly increases my chances to find more mystery boxes. Oh, and it was Dwarf's birthday today. You know, that one guy in caves that doesn't even speak to me. But that didn't stop me from giving him a gift. He liked it so much that he started speaking, I don't know, French, what is this? Oh, another cool thing is that Fisherman is now able to sell me a better rod. But it costs 7500 gold. I'll skip it for now. I completed 2 more quests in community center, and that's it for today. I want to upgrade my house now, and for that I need 450 wood and 10,000 gold. So I started chopping trees around me. I lost all my energy pretty quickly, and I didn't have enough wood for the house. So I spent rest of the day talking to NPCs and giving them gifts. Maybe I didn't earn any money today, but I did reach level 5 foraging, so I got a perk that grants me 25% more wood from chopping trees. This is just what I needed. As soon as I got enough wood, I head to Robin to start upgrading my house. It should be done in around 3 days. Another thing I bought was calendar. That way I don't have to visit town square to check what events and birthdays are coming up. It's saving me time in long run. Robin is already working hard on my house. There are no any events for the next 3 days, so I can just chill and do whatever I want without feeling too guilty. I went back to mines, but this time with plenty of food. I took my time and I didn't rush with fighting creatures. I managed to push another 5 levels. I was actually so close to pushing 10 levels today, but my health and energy were starting to get low. So I went back to base because I learned my lesson few times already. Thanks to previous day I found a lot of ores which I used in community center, so I can finish the boiler room bundle. Rewards were pretty underwhelming to be honest, and it said that minecarts will be repaired now. A train passed by once again, but since I was close I decided to investigate it, and this time I actually got a couple of gold ores, so that was nice. Now back to minecarts. I went to mines to check out newly repaired minecarts, but it was still out of order, like whatever, I don't understand this. It was noon already and I still had full energy bar. So I went to chop some trees around farm until I depleted all my energy. I went to bed and then it happened. A cutscene which showed little ghosts repairing minecart track. On day 55 I woke up with one extra room in my house. It looks like it's finally upgraded. First I went to Robin so I can learn a recipe for better storage chest. I have so much problems with my storage right now, it's annoying. On my way back home I went to check repaired minecarts. And that thing is amazing. I can now travel to 3 different locations for free. This will save me up so much time, you have no idea. I spent the rest of the day organizing my storage. It's so much better now. Oh yeah, and I spent all my energy on cutting trees again. Day 56. Today is the last day of summer. And there is some kind of an event happening today. I should better pick up all the crops because there won't be next time. Anyways, I was speaking about moonlit event. It starts at evening on the beach. And I have plenty of time to do something else. So I started fishing at pond next to mountains, and I found some pretty interesting fish there. When it got dark, moonlit jelly event started, and it's nothing special to be honest. There were no interesting items in shop, and there wasn't a minigame or anything like that. I guess the purpose of event was to symbolize the last day of summer. Okay, today is the first day of fall. There is so much work to do now. Also, I can't help but notice that everything looks much nicer now. Definitely my favorite season so far. I added a few more quality sprinklers so I could start making some semi-automatic farms. There was no screwing around today. I basically went bankrupt because of all the seeds I bought. I spent whole day setting up new farm. I wasn't even sure if I will have enough time today to water all the plants. But I did it in just a nick of time. Today is Penny's birthday and I can't miss the opportunity to increase our friendship points. Look how satisfying it is when sprinkles do most of your hard work. Anyways, as I was heading out to town center, I saw Robin and Louis making a new billboard for quests. So that will be interesting to say the least. Okay, so Robin put out the quest that she needs 1k stone in 6 days. I gifted the melon to Penny and I gained so much points from this. Since I needed 1000 stone for this quest, I spent whole day in low level mines mining stone. I got 300 in the end, which is not too bad actually, I expected way less. I got an interesting mail today from a shopkeeper. He said that he's selling flower bouquets, which I can give to NPCs with whom I want to start family. I guess game is giving me hints what I have to do with Penny now, but shop was closed. Anyways, there isn't anything special to do today. I will just go into mines for some more stone again. I had few bombs which I still didn't use, and they are so efficient and fun to use. Speaking of bombs, that brings me to day 60, when I reached level 6 mining and I got a recipe to craft bombs. Today I finally collected 1000 stones, and reward is 2500 gold. That is not really worth it in my opinion. Okay, never mind, new day began and Robin unlocked a stone chest crafting recipe for me. Guess it was worth it in the end. I had a daily quest for slaying slimes, so I spent some more time in mines. When I went to bed I reached level 5 combat skill. This gave me a perk which increased my crit chance by 50%. Day 62 was pretty chill day. I was running around doing nothing. Until I went into Penny's trailer park, where I had a cutscene. Basically I watched her fight with her alcoholic mother about mess they live in. The game is slowly turning into soap opera. Afterwards I cut a lot of trees because I wanted to build a barn. My farming and foraging skills increased by 1 level, so I unlocked some new recipes. Today I reached 10 hearts with Penny, which filled up whole bar. Anyways, I went to Robin's place so I could order a new barn. I had some leftover money, so I bought some floor recipes. I want to start decorating my farm a little bit. Afterwards I brought my hoe to blacksmith to make it a bit better. I spent the rest of the day placing down floor tiles around the farm. It's not beautiful or breathtaking, but it does make this place a little bit nicer. On day 64 game gave me a hint to gift a mermaid pendant to a person I want to marry. Afterwards I made 3 tree tappers, and I placed them under trees so I can start farming something. Not exactly sure what, but time will tell. I found out that blackberries are pretty easy to obtain, you just have to run around and punch bushes, so that was nice. I was rewarded with sword called Insect Head. I got it in a guild house because I completed a bug extermination task. And the most important thing of the day, Penny sent me a mail that she wants to see me in the bathhouse after work. Surely that means something important, right? It's day 65, and yesterday I accepted a quest where I'm supposed to fish out 20 trash items out of river. So it's fishing day today. But then I remembered that I could just fish in that small pond next to my farm and basically get 100% drop rate on trash items. So this quest was completed in few minutes only. Easy 500 gold. Other than that, I was running around doing random stuff. But I did go to beach where I reminded myself that I can use 300 wood to repair this bridge. Today I finally have access to barn. But I had my eyes on something else right now. The broken bridge. I didn't waste any time and I repaired the bridge straight away. And I found some corals and purple spikes there. Very disappointing. So I thought to myself, maybe I can find some special fish here instead. And no, it's the same fish like on the other part of beach. Afterwards I picked up my new hoe at blacksmith and I started upgrading my axe. Anyways, back to barn now. I went to lady that sells animals and I bought myself one cow. Shortly after I went to bed. I realized that I will face a serious issue soon. My wheat supply is running low, and now that I have even more animals, this could be dangerous. I'm honestly not sure if my animals would die, or if they would simply stop producing products if I won't have anything to feed them with. So to fix this issue I went to town. I bought a lot of wheat seeds and I planted them next to barn. With leftover money I bought another cow. On day 68 my steel axe was finished, and I was thinking to myself how annoying and slow it is to water this wheat farm. So I started upgrading water can afterwards. I had some leftover money which I used to buy another cow called Zuki, that's a nice name. There wasn't really much to do right now, so I tested out steel axe on local tree population. And I don't really see the difference, to be honest. I spent my energy and I went to bed. It was pretty short day. Today is Abigail's birthday. So I gifted her an amethyst because she loves that kind of stuff. That gave me a lot of social points towards her, but I'm not really sure what kind of a benefit I would get out of it since, you know, I'm taken. Oh, and I purchased a last cow today. I really wanted to make some advancement in mines with my new sword. And things were going pretty smoothly. I even reached level 90 where I got an even better sword. That sword is called Obsidian Edge. I was close to reaching level 95, but time wasn't on my side today. On day 70 I picked up a lot of pumpkins from my farm. It took them way too long to grow up, but I can already see the profits being nice. Watering can was also done at the blacksmith's place. And I was basically running around the beach collecting shells and stuff. That's when I found some weird NPC that sold me mermaid pendant. You know what that means, marrying Penny. And she accepted my proposal. I spent rest of the day fishing and I got so many new fish that I never caught before. Afterwards I went to bed. Today I earned 17,000 just by selling pumpkins and fish. Definitely my best day so far. Good news is that one of the cows grew up, so I was able to milk her. I figured I could make a couple of cheese pressers, so I can turn milk into cheese for more profits. There is a fair event tomorrow, and I got a mail saying that I should prepare 9 items I want to showcase there. After I prepared some items I went back to mines. I wanted to reach level 95. There was some kind of a pink monster there that dropped me a new hammer when I killed it. It seems like a very decent weapon. Shortly after I learned a new power that basically sometimes gives me double monster loot. It's day 72 and fair event is today at the town square. There were a few minigames, such as shooting balls and fishing. Also there was that competition I talked about where we have to showcase our products. After playing games for way too long and actually winning product competition, I got enough tickets to buy my first star fruit. That thing basically permanently increases my energy by some amount. I'm still not exactly sure how much. Afterwards the event ended and I went to bed. Today is important day because I'm getting married. There are friends my age getting married and having kids, and I'm doing the same thing but in the game only. Ceremony was short and sweet, just like Penny. Afterwards I went to blacksmith to pick up a steel watering can. And this shit changed my life, like I'm not even kidding when I say that. Watering plants became 5 times faster. I also started a big quest where I have to collect a lot of bone fragments, so I guess I'm back to mines again. I'm not so optimistic about this quest. I only have 5 days to collect 100 bone fragments, and today I managed to get 21. I went to bed and it looks like Penny is officially living with me. I increased my mining skill to level 7 and I earned 6k from all the crops I sold earlier. Wheat finally grew today, but the amount of hay I got is very low. I'm disappointed to say the least. Only 40 hay from this big plot of land. Oh, and I also have lots of geodes that I had to process. While I was at blacksmith place, I figured I could also upgrade my pickaxe to golden tier. It wouldn't hurt, I guess, since I do a lot of mining. I donated few more items to museum, but sadly all of the rewards were decorations. And you know me, I basically do zero decorations around this playthrough. I kinda wanted to go in mines, but without pickaxe that just ain't happening. So instead I just continued clearing right side of the farm. I plan to build a very big farm here one day. Day 75 was pretty boring day. I just continued clearing all the trees on the right side. I ate so much food just so I could have enough energy for this task. But it is done. It looks way much better. I will just have to wait for my pickaxe to be ready so I could deal with leftover rocks. At this point I also gathered enough crops and goods to complete few more bundle quests at community center. It looks like soon I will repair bridge. But I will have to wait for winter season though. Hey, golden pickaxe is done. I can go back to mines now. First I fully cleared the right side of the farm. Afterwards I planted some tree saplings, so I could start farming tree sap and maple syrup in bulk. I am once again yearning for mines, just like children that play Minecraft. I was on tight time schedule, but I still wanted to reach level 100. And just around midnight I did that. Reward at level 100 was another starfruit, which permanently increased my energy. My foraging and combat skill increased by 1 level. Also today was Robin's birthday, so I gifted her a peach. According to Wikipedia, she likes those. I was back to mines again. Since I had a whole day ahead of me, I tried to go 10 levels deeper. But when I reached level 107, things got really messy and I almost died. I gotta be more careful in future. And of course I wasn't careful, I was greedy and I died to black slime. Needless to say, I went to bed afterwards. Golden watering can was finished, so I can start upgrading my hoe next. But before that I want to point out that it's raining. And every time a thunder strikes, there is a chance for it to strike my crops or trees. And that is bad thing. So preventive measure for that is to make lightning rods, which also turn those lightning strikes into batteries, so that's great. Afterwards I went back to mines. This time I was a bit more patient and careful, taking all the time I need. It was slow, but in the end I reached level 110, and as a reward for my efforts, I got space boots, which give more defense and immunity. I earned 5000 coins from all the crops I sold yesterday. That's very good considering the fact that I barely do any work around farm these days. But yeah, today was actually kinda busy day at the farm. Lightning rods were done charging and they dropped some kind of battery charges. I'm not really sure what do I need them for. Wheat was fully grown, so it was time to replant it. But look at the golden watering can, guys. It waters 9 tiles at once, that's such a good time saver. Afterwards I went back to mines. I pushed another 5 levels and now I'm at level 115. I wonder how many more levels are still there. I hope it's not level 200 because I'm not mentally ready for that grind. On day 80 my golden hoe was ready. And last tool I have to upgrade is an axe. And that's it, I swear, no more upgrading, I know it's very boring to watch that. Afterwards I went back to mines, but I have some excellent news. It looks like level 120 was the last level in mines. My reward was some kind of a skull key, and I got a new quest where I have to find the purpose of this key. I was running around town whole day trying to find its purpose. I even checked sewers at the bottom of the map, but nah, that wasn't its purpose either. It got dark and I went to bed. Today there was a bookseller in town, and I barely had enough money to buy a book which lets me see value of every item. That's pretty good in my opinion. Afterwards I went to Wizard's place. Weird, I know. I was browsing Wikipedia, and gifts he likes are pretty easy to get, so I think it's time to start working on our friendship. I totally forgot that I accepted the weekly quest, where I have to fish 20 fish out of a mountain lake to maintain ecosystem balance or some bullshit like that. So I spent rest of the day and night doing that. I sold all the fish because I wanted to buy a new fishing rod, which brings me to day 82. My fishing skill went up by 1 level. I got to craft some new stuff, which I won't really bother crafting, to be honest with you. I went to blacksmith because golden axe was ready. I opened some mystery boxes and geodes, and I got this cool hat. I also redeemed one prize ticket, which gave me some love book that makes earning friendship points a bit easier. I still have around 10k gold left, and I want that new fishing rod. Afterwards I made lots of bait and I was ready to test out new fishing rod. But this time I used warp totem to teleport to beach. It was pretty cool, I should use that item more often. The reason why I'm fishing here is because I'm looking for eels. They can be only found when it's raining in fall season, which is, well, now. When it got dark I warped myself back to base. I earned 6k gold in total. And today is some kind of a Spirit Eve festival, but more on that a bit later. I gathered some items that I plan to put in a community center, but problem is my path is blocked due to everyone working on Spirit Eve event, and I really don't feel like fishing again, so I'll just stay AFK until 10 PM. So it turns out that Spirit Eve is just a Halloween event. There wasn't much to do. I had to complete some kind of a maze, and at the end of a maze I was rewarded with a golden pumpkin, which sells for decent money. Other than that, I purchased a rare scarecrow for 5000 gold, and then I went to bed. Today is the last day of fall and I reached level 10 farming, which makes my crops grow 10% faster. There are no more farming levels that I can obtain, it's fully maxed out now. Or at least I think so. There wasn't really much to do today. Anyways, I went to community center. I added a few items to collection, but sadly not enough to get anything interesting. Afterwards I completed few daily quests, and that was it. I just went to bed since winter is coming. I actually managed to earn 10 grand today, that was nice. And so it begins, the winter is upon us. Everything feels so calm, I like it. As I was on my way to town I spotted some weird black creature. That's when I got a new quest called Find a Shadowy Figure. It seems very interesting. I wasn't exactly sure what to do now, because shopkeeper doesn't sell any seeds. I mean, it makes sense, it's winter, right? I was mostly fishing around and doing quests. I also put a crab pot in lake next to mountain. And I went to bed around 8 because, as I said, I don't know what to do now. Same thing happened today. I was walking around foraging plants, but I did find Robin's lost axe though. It's a quest that I should have done ages ago. I just couldn't help myself. I went to Wikipedia to read about this shadowy figure, and it turns out that I have to look for some footprints. Shortly after following snowy footprints, I found a figurine hiding in a bush. It gave me some kind of a magnifying glass, which I need to find secret notes. Afterwards I was back to fishing at the beach for some squids. When I caught one, I knew it was time for bed. On day 87 I finally caught a crab in a crab pot, and I need it for community center quest. But I'll do it later, there's no rush. Speaking of crab pots, I bought few more at Will's place, since there really isn't much to farm now. Later I found out that I can get snow yam by using hoe on tiles. That is very important, because that was the last piece which I needed in order to repair a room in community center. It was Linus's birthday today, so I gave him a gift before I went back to farm. One of the rewards in community center were winter seeds, so I planted them before I headed to bed. Speaking of bed, it triggered a cutscene where I saw those little flowers repairing a bridge. I didn't waste any time, I went straight towards the bridge. And it seems like this new area is called Quarry. I spent a lot of energy mining ores around it. Then I realized that there is some kind of a cave here. There was a skull sign next to entrance. That can only mean trouble. I didn't want to mess around here because I spent all my energy. It was a pretty short day. Mining skill has increased by 1 level. There is a bookseller event today, but I won't bother going there. I gave another present to Wizard and I finally got another heart from him. But yeah, I went back to Quarry. And I even brought a decent amount of food with me, because I figured those skeletons are very dangerous. And I was right. They dodge my attacks very easily and they deal a lot of damage. Also, there were some kind of a mage skeletons. In fact, those bastards almost killed me. But it was worth it in the end because I obtained a golden scythe. I'm not really sure what do I need it for, but who cares, it's golden. After I left the cave, a cutscene with Linus started. in which he basically gave me a recipe for new fishing bait that lets me catch 2 fish at once. There were still few hours left in this day, and I had a full energy bar, so I decided to mine all the minerals on surface level. Today I had a daily quest in which I needed to kill 4 fire slimes, so I went to mines for a little bit. I kept getting some weird notes that gave me hints for what seems to be a treasure, I don't know. I went to one of the locations that I recognized immediately, and I was rewarded with treasure chest, which seems to be selling for 5000 coins. That's a lot of money. There was another note about finding lost necklace around the bathhouse, so I spent the rest of the day looking for it. Sadly, I didn't find one, but I did find a lost book. It expanded my book selection in museum, whatever that means. I earned some pretty sweet money today, 11,000 to be exact. Pierre came to visit me today, just to tell me that next year he will start selling even more seed types. I was running very low on hay, so I had to buy 100 pieces from Marnie. It costs 5,000, but it's fine. It will pay off by itself in few days. I decided to send out some gifts to NPCs, and it looks like I finally maxed out friendship with Abigail. I'm not really sure what was the point of it, but maybe she will give me something one day, like an item or a recipe. I was back to searching a lost necklace, but I didn't find anything. Then I completed the other quest where I had to right-click bush at 12:40. It looks like those two are having a fair or something. It's more of a Easter egg, I think. Okay, it's day 92 and we have Festival of Ice today. But before festival started, I had to make 2 more cheese presses, because it's annoying to keep making cheese twice a day. Let's talk about this festival. It was a pretty simple one. There was a shop where I bought a rare crow, because why not? Afterwards we had a fishing contest, where we had to catch as many fish as possible in just 2 minutes. I caught 5 pieces and that made me the winner of the contest. And the reward was few fishing accessories, which can always come in handy, I'm not complaining. Today winter seeds finally grew up. Some small extra profit for today. Then I decided to visit a community center. But before that I had to accept a weekly quest. I have to bring 100 bug meat, that seems pretty easy. Anyways, back to community center. I completed the money bundle. I spent 35,000 on it, it wasn't cheap, guys. But one of the rewards was Crystallorium. It basically farms gems, so maybe it pays off in the long run. Afterwards I went to mines to farm some bug meat for weekly quest. But I didn't stay too long, because Abby sent me a mail that she wants to see me in her room after dark. That's kinda sus, not gonna lie. When I arrived there, she wanted to play a Ouija board with me, and board wanted to say that she loves me. Yeah, it's kinda too late for that. I was kinda hoping for some kind of a recipe or an item. On day 94 bus has been repaired, and I also got an achievement for earning 250,000 gold in total. It turned out that Pam is a bus driver. What could possibly go wrong with having an alcoholic driver? Anyways, I bought a ticket for 500 gold, and that brought me to some kind of a desert. There were some interesting shops here, some new fish and plants I can forage, but it looks like main attraction of this place is a mine. I had to use my skull key to access these new mines. I didn't spend too much time inside of it, because I didn't prepare myself for such an expedition. And it looks like enemies are pretty strong here. However, I did find a note that started a quest, which said that I must reach level 100 in these mines. Oh boy, another mine grinding. But not in these 100 days for sure. New day started and I got a new quest which said that if I reach level 25 in Skull Caves, that I will be rewarded with plenty of gold. Now we're talking. So of course I waited until Pam arrived, so we can go once again back to desert. Let's talk about Skull Caverns again. I almost died to purple slimes on multiple occasions, but at least mining these rocks is very profitable. I regularly keep finding diamonds and omni geodes. At one point I found a hole. As I went through it I skipped through 4 levels of caverns. Everything is much more dangerous here. Ghosts and mummies are everywhere. And sadly I died to one. Later I woke up in infirmary and it looks like I lost 1000 gold and an obsidian edge. That was a hard blow for me, not gonna lie. I loved that sword. It was time for bed because I had no any energy or health left. New day started, and even though I got a very tempting quest from a wizard regarding a Skull Cavern exploration, I won't be able to do it because today is a Squid Fest, which means a fishing competition, and I can't miss those. Competition is very simple. I can earn some rewards depending on amount of squid I catch, with daily limit up to 8 squids. After fishing for about 15 minutes I caught my last squid. Rewards were great, I even got a pearl that's worth a lot of money. I warped myself back home to save some time, and I sold everything that's worth some money. Fishing skill increased by 1 level, and I earned almost 12,000 yesterday from all the loot I sold. There isn't much to say about this day though. Fishing competition was still ongoing, but this time I brought some fishing pole accessories, so catching squids was a lot faster. Although today I had to catch 10 squid instead of 8, but it still wasn't an issue. Rewards were pretty good. I got a nice squid head and a treasure chest which is worth 5,000. Afterwards I warped back to farm. I sold most of the loot and I went to bed. All that fishing earned me another 10,000, that's pretty good. But let's go back to mines because why not? I have been stockpiling some cheese so I could have better chance at surviving in mines. Reaching level 25 was my goal. Also I have some coffee for faster movement speed, so I feel much more confident this time. Level 8 was very hard. I got swarmed by a bunch of flying lizards or whatever the fuck that is. Thank god for cheese though. I was in the zone. It was getting so deep that iridium ores started spawning. That must be a good sign. I pushed through mines like there is no tomorrow. Level 25? Nah, screw that, I reached level 34. And it was getting really dangerous at this point, so I went back home. Speaking of home, I talked to Penny, and she gave me another starfruit. I don't know why. Looks like getting married was the right thing to do. It's day 99, which means 2 more days until this challenge is over. I won't be really able to do anything significant, so I will just focus on trying to max out my mining and fishing skill. Also, I got rewarded with another 10,000 today for reaching level 25 in Skull Caves. So first I wanna focus on getting level 10 mining. I went to normal caves this time, because I don't want to stress out about the dying and stuff like that. I just want to chill and mine, that's it. Around 5 PM I got a message saying that night market has just opened. I totally forgot about that event. After almost spending my energy, I went to check out what's up with that night market. Yeah, about the market. There wasn't really anything I was particularly interested in. There was some kind of a mermaid show. However, I did end up buying some mining book for some experience, which was perfect for my current objective. It's day 100, the last day. And to make this sweeter, Marnie sent me 30 hay in mail, so I could feed some animals. That's very nice actually. Another good thing is that one of my chicken has full hearts now. I'm not really sure what that does, but who cares. It feels good, it feels like I did something right here. So I went back to mines again in hopes of reaching level 10 mining skill. But this time I stopped with mining at 5 PM, because I wanted to try a fishing trip in submarine. I brought the best fishing equipment and I head out. That greedy goblin wanted 1000 gold for a trip to bottom of the sea. But oh well, it is what it is, it's not like I'm poor anymore. I spent rest of the day fishing here. I got some interesting catch like blobfish and midnight squid. It got very dark and I went home. But I decided to keep all the fish, because if I learned one thing about this game, then it's that you never know when will some random NPC have a quest asking for a blobfish to be delivered. Anyways, this is it. I officially survived 100 days in Stardew Valley. It was very fun, and I would definitely consider doing another 100 days in this world. But sometime in the future. Not straight away, I want to play something else now. And keep in mind that it takes me up to 1 month to make 100-day videos. So it will probably take a long time until I make a new part. So if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more in future, consider subscribing, it actually means a lot to me. Thank you again for all the amazing support. And right now I'm at 128 subscribers, which is amazing that over 100 people enjoy my content. And that's it, I will see you in the next 100 days video. Bye.